Good morning. Welcome to the White River Buddhist Temple Hanamatsuri service. My name is Charlene Reynolds, and I will be today's service chair. Literally, Flower Festival. Hanamatsuri is celebrated each year commemorating the birth of Siddhartha Gautama. Siddhartha became enlightened as Shakyamuni Buddha, and this marks the release of sentient beings from suffering and sorrow. Please Gasho for opening meditation. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. This morning we will chant the Vandana Tisarana followed by Jusei, led by Reverend Warwick.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami, Dhammam saranam gacchami, Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Kie Butsu. Namo Kie Ho. Namo Kie So. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Ragon Chosegan Ishir Mujodo Shigan Humanzo Seifujo Shogak Gao Muryoko Uidai Seishu Husai Shobingu Seifujo Shogak Gashijo Butendo Yosho Chojipo Kukyo Mishomon Seifujo Shogak Ryokujin Shonen Jo Eshu Bongyo Shigu Mujodo Isho Tenin Shi Jinriki and Daiko Busho Musaido Shoujo Sankumyo Kosai Shu Yakunan Kaihi Chi Egen Meshi Komo An Heisoku Sho Akudo Tsudaten Zen Shubon Koso Joan Zok Ioro Jiapo Nichigaten Shujuki Tenko Onpugen Ishu Kai Hozo Kosei Kudoku Ho Jo Dai Shu Chu 説法ししく供養一切仏具足修徳本元年失上満徳意三概要如仏無下知通達未不詳願学営力教師最小尊志願役効果大仙王感動国小天人と内妙慶南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム南蛮ダム願にしく読平等性際道本菩提心往生安楽南無阿弥陀仏、南無阿弥陀、南無阿弥陀、南無阿弥陀、南無阿弥陀、南無阿弥陀。
The Golden Chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our virtual service, and thank you for joining us today. Please join me in Gassho for a reading from Shinran's Kyogyo Shincho. Shakyamuni Tathagata appeared in this world solely to teach the ocean-like primal vow of Amida. We, an ocean of beings in an evil age of 5 defilements, should entrust ourselves to the Tathagata's words of truth. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida. Many, many eons ago, in the lowest of the lower Avicii hells, a massive, strong young bull was hitched to another older, weaker bull. These two were designated to pull a cart for Yama, who is the lord of the underworld. The load they carried was extremely heavy. Because of this, the older, weaker bull was hardly able to keep up. Since he was always struggling, Yama would beat and whip the weaker bull. The younger bull took pity on the weaker bull and would help him with his load. One day, Yama noticed that the younger bull was helping the older, weaker bull. He flew into a rage and immediately struck the younger bull dead with his double-edged sword. The younger bull was once again born as a bull, but because of the merit acquired from his compassion for the weaker bull, the stronger bull was reborn in one of the higher hells. And thus began the many, many births and deaths of the Bodhisattva as he, due to his compassionate acts, was born again and again into higher realms of existence until at last, finally at last, Siddhartha Gautama was born to his last and final time. He was destined to become the Buddha. In our tradition, the historical Buddha, Shakyamuni, was born in Nepal around April 8, 566 BCE. 2,587 years ago, he was born the son of the king Suddhodana and Queen Maya. There are many flowery descriptions of the scene of his birth, including celestial birds singing beautiful songs, beautiful flowers, and a sweet, gentle rain bathing the Buddha. According to legend, during the last month of her pregnancy, Queen Maya decided that she would like to pass the spring day in a flower garden. So with the king's permission, attended by her ladies-in-waiting, she had herself driven to Lumbini Grove, or Lumbini Garden. The trees were abloom with fragrant blossoms. The deep green grasses were like the tail feathers of a peacock, swaying like soft, fine silk blown by the wind. The queen took a pleasant stroll and reached toward a drooping limb of the Asoka tree, which was heavy with flowers. At that moment, the Bodhisattva was born, suddenly and peacefully. Immediately, on being born, the baby took 7 steps in each of the 4 directions and proclaimed, "In heaven above and earth below, I am the most honored one. I shall dispel the suffering that fills the world." These 4 directions represent the universe. The first 6 steps refer to the 6 realms of existence in samsara. The 7th step represents humanity's potential to transcend this world of suffering. So this baby was seen not as an ordinary baby, but one who was born as Buddha, who would awaken all beings and all forms of life. Remembering this proclamation made on that day in April long, long ago, we celebrate his birth. May we all become Buddha like him, awakened and enlightened. It's said that combining the Japanese flower festival of Hanamatsuri with the celebration of the Buddha's birth began over 1,400 years ago. The original purpose of the Hanamatsuri festival was to encourage flowers such as the cherry blossom to stay in bloom. The idea being that the longer the blossom stayed in bloom, the more prosperous the harvest would be. The Hanamido that we use, or the flower pavilions that we use, is the centerpiece at which the service to honor the baby Buddha is performed. The flowers on the Hanamido symbolize his place of birth in the Lumbini Garden. After we bow and do kambutsu to the Hanamido, we then pour amacha, hydrangea tea, over the infant. We put our hands together in gasho and bow to the Tanjiro Butsu statue. We do this because the birth of Shakyamuni represents the birth of Buddhism. With the coming of Shakyamuni began the spread of Buddhism. Buddhism became available to all people with his birth. In the opening reading today, Shinran speaks about the evil age of the 5 defilements. These 5 types of defilements, which prevail in the age of Mappo that we are living in currently, are a defiled age, when war, pestilence, famine, natural calamities, and pollution abound. Defiled view, characterized by confrontations of ideology, confusion of values, and prevalence of nihilistic attitudes. Defiled passion, the flourishing of greed, anger, ignorance, and evil ways. Defiled beings, an increase in human life of inferior quality, dull minds, weak bodies, and egotism, and then again the 5th and final, defiled life, the wasting and shortening of human life. The 5 are ultimately interrelated with each other. Defilement of this age is caused by defiled views, which arise from defiled passion that controls the lives of defiled beings who manifest a defiled life. In Shinran's Shosomatsu Wasans, or Hymns of the Dharma Ages, he speaks more about this. age of Mappo. He speaks more about this age of Mappo. He writes, "It is now more than 2,000 years since the passing of Shakyamuni Tathagata. The right and semblance ages have already closed. So lament disciples of the latter times. Now, amid the five defilements in the last Dharma age, sentient beings are incapable of practice and realization. Hence, the teachings that Shakyamuni left behind have all passed into the Naga's palace. During the right, semblance, and last ages, Amida's primal vow has spread. At the end of the semblance and the last Dharma age, good practices have all gone into the Naga's palace. Without entrusting themselves to the Tathagata's compassionate vow, no sentient being of this time, the last Dharma age, and the fifth 500-year period since Shakyamuni's passing, will have a chance of parting from birth and death." So with that reading, I would like to close my talk. Please join me in Gasho with gratitude to Shinran and all of our Dharma teachers, all the way back to Shakyamuni himself. Once again, Shinran's words. Shakyamuni Tathagata appeared in this world solely to teach the ocean-like primal vow of Amida. We, an ocean of beings in the evil age of the five defilements, should entrust ourselves to the Tathagata's words of truth. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida. Thank you so much for joining me today and listening to my Dharma message, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Before we end today's service, I'd like to make a few announcements. As a friendly reminder, in-person temple operations remain suspended indefinitely. Your safety is our top concern, and we're working hard to find virtual opportunities to engage our Sangha. All service dates and links can be found on the temple calendar or the website. Our next virtual service will be next Sunday, April 18th at 10:30 a.m. Please join us. In dedication to those we lost this last year, White River is starting a Tsuru drive. The Tsuru will be hung in the temple hondo for display during virtual services. More information can be found on our website. Our next virtual book club meeting will take place on May 2nd at 7 p.m. More information can be found at www.wrbt.org/book club. Our next Timeless Favorites cooking class will be on April 24th at 11 a.m. with Mimi Yamashita. Please register online at www.rbt.org/timelessfavorites. Finally, if you don't already, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website for the latest information. Those are the announcements. At this time, please gasho for closing meditation. In life, we cannot avoid change. We cannot avoid loss. Freedom and happiness are found in the flexibility and ease with which we move through change. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for joining our virtual service today. We hope that you enjoyed it and appreciate you joining us from wherever you are. Hope you will join us again. Stay safe.